What's poppin', y'all? This is Deidre with One Shot Game, man. You already know how the motto go. You get one shot at life, but a lifetime to learn all the game you need to help improve your life. The choice is yours on which route you choose to take. Now, as I always say, you get two choices: the ability to faithfully settle on the life that has been set out for you, or the ability to pave a path towards your destiny. That choice is also up to you. So before I get into the title of my video, I want to say a big shout out to all my supporters. You guys are great. And even the ones behind the scenes, I see y'all too. So look, this video is going to be part 2 of basically how I was explaining how the system is flipping on itself and exposing the real corporates in this whole plot of corruption to keep certain people in a state of mind so that they don't grow. It's so much bigger than what people believe it is, strictly because there's certain information they have kept away from us so that we wouldn't know. And I'm going to elaborate on this topic a little more. You know what I'm saying? Listen, it's a whole big grand scheme. You know what I'm saying? There are people that we never see that sit in certain offices and discuss certain information. And there was a plot, there was a discussion raised about a certain group of people that would be enlightened and able to discover truly who they were and receive information that will expose our whole behind the scenes corruption, right? So the attack they sent on these certain group of people was to make sure that everyone who operated around them in the dark, you know what I'm saying, was able to keep them trapped in a certain state of mind to where their dark energy would cloak that person's or these people's energy, so they wouldn't be able to receive the information that would expose us for real. You know what I'm saying? So it's almost as if like it was a worldwide investigation where they had pictures of certain people, certain information of names, numbers, people they associated with, what they did, where they went to school at, where they lived, everything they participated in, where they worked, you know what I'm saying, who their kids were, who they were related to, who they had associations with, you know what I'm saying, all those were tracked to these certain groups of people. And if this person was able to finally wake up from the sleep that they were in, again, they would receive a certain level of knowledge that would expose this whole plan, and this whole system that we have going on will flip on itself. So what we need everybody to do is do everything you can to get everyone closest to them to flip and turn on them. You know what I'm saying? Even if you have to get their family members involved. Strictly because, again, the mission is to make sure that this person doesn't awaken to who they are, because when they do, they'll have the ability to expose things that will, you know what I'm saying, be able to be seen to the public. So whatever you have to do, make sure you set out on the mission. And oftentimes they send their biggest people that work for them as far as what they do, and they basically are people that have operated in a way where they've chosen the dark side. So their energy is basically controlled and monitored to be able to signal out anyone who operates in light, anyone who has compassion, has heartfelt, because they are made sure to never care about them, love them, you know what I'm saying, respect them, show them any generosity, any caring, compassion, any type of admiration, to make sure that they never succeed in waking up to who they truly are. That is the mission behind everybody close to this person, because everyone, including us, know that it's a big risk if they wake up to who they are, and everything that we've been doing to everyone for years will be exposed. You know what I'm saying? So again, I need to make sure that you guys succeed in the mission of getting every piece of information that you can regarding this person, and make sure that everyone closest to them folds on them, and make sure runs away and treats them bad, and isolate them to where they're already, you know what I'm saying, back into a space of what they had to grow up in, to see if it's available to work to keep this person from stop growing. You got to remember, the people that run these companies are people that are spoon-fed. So they usually have someone that they know or they grew up or were birthed from that already had money. So they never knew what it felt like to actually ever be broke. So their whole system is making sure that they are able to sustain the lifestyles that they keep living. As where on the other hand, we are people that have been broke before, lost it all, had to get it all back. So we already know what comes with that experience. You know what I'm saying? So they probably never understood that it would have the opposite effect, you know what I'm saying, in a person truly in discovering who they are. You know what I'm saying? So again, like I said, these people have been studying and monitoring you for so long that they're used to and know the tactics that can be used to put you in a state of mind so that you're not able to have a clear, blockage free mind to access certain points of information. That's what stops a lot of people from actually growing or becoming better, because there are certain things in their lifestyle that they have been studying and watching that they know if they use those tricks can put a person more into a state of being to where they're not able to believe in who they are, to receive the information that can help them break out of that box. You know what I'm saying? Listen, I'm telling you, they know who those people are. They know who those people have been since the day they were born. You know what I'm saying? But they usually get everyone to play a part in making sure this person never realizes who they truly are. These people, whoever, you know what I'm saying, this message relates to. Again, it is not in our best interest for them, for the truth to be exposed, because they do their best at hiding it and covering it up with something that we're doing, so we can put more interest in that to fuel money in their pockets while we struggle and get left behind without any clear way on how to have the finer things in life to where we don't have to struggle. I'm telling you, it's a big orchestrated case mission that they've been studying for years. You know what I'm saying? They know who are the certain people that have the ability to, you know what I'm saying, wake up to who they truly are and be able to reveal certain things that they don't be wanting to be revealed to the public. It was in their DNA. It was in early events. It was things that people knew, that oftentimes the people closest to you are agents for this particular group. So anytime something happened that they didn't have no ties back to, or that exposed them in some way, they usually reported back to these people, and these people found out a way to make sure that we're restricted in some way by, you know what I'm saying, bringing someone in that works for them. You know what I'm saying? Listen, I'm telling you, y'all don't even understand how being around certain people that think and operate a certain way, you know what I'm saying, and without actually being able to tap into who they are for real, you will never know. And anything that you do that's out of the ordinary is recorded. And that's how these people come up with a plan to use it to block you from becoming who you really are. Listen, I'm telling you, y'all just don't even know how deep this goes. This is a $1 billion industry plot, you know what I'm saying, that's used to keep certain people cloaked in other people's energy so that they will never be able to wake up. Listen, do you know how much money is made by keeping people in prison beds? Do you know how much money is made by sending people to, you know what I'm saying, mental health professionals? Do you know how much money is made behind prescriptions? Do you know how much money is made behind kids in the seat? You know what I'm saying? Do you know how much money is made by every criminal caught, pulled over, anything taken for these police officers? It is such a profitable business that the person running it was basically making death threats over people's head if they were not allowed to keep certain groups of people silenced, so that they weren't able to become who they truly are and figure out the truth. Because over time, with them revealing the truth in any way they choose to reveal it, because they've been through so much that they are not afraid, in time our system will flip. And when that happens, then, you know what I'm saying, they'll be able to see it energetically, that everything we've been using to basically keep the people controlled in a certain state of mind, you know what I'm saying, will have people reversing it and waking up to who they truly are. And so then certain systems will no longer be profitable for us, but for them. So then that's when we come in with a plan to close them. So we put them back in that state of mind, so then they go back to how they used to operate, and then everything keeps spilling money to our pockets. Listen, I'm telling you, it's so much of a big operation. I don't even think people realize how profitable it really is. You know what I'm saying? And how I'm just not afraid to speak on it because a lot of my people have been put in situations where we weren't meant to be in those situations. It was only profitable to somebody else while we stayed broke. You know what I'm saying? While people made money off the mental state. You know what I'm saying? It's so much of a big operation that you got to think about it. People don't believe what they can't see. People don't believe what they don't know. You know what I'm saying? If it's one person talking about something that everybody else doesn't know, usually that person is, you know what I'm saying, put in a box. You know what I'm saying? And they still stay structurally programmed to whatever it is that they know until they start to see the results of what they know folding in on them. You know what I'm saying? Then they start to backtrack like, oh, wait, I believe this person said this, whoop. It's all about, you know what I'm saying, memory, being able to put together what you know, you know what I'm saying? But if you're under the influence or, you know what I'm saying, you constantly telling a lie to keep up with a lie, it's hard for you to even be able to piece together your life because you're too busy trying to catch up, you feel me, with what's currently going on. You know what I'm saying? But I'm telling you right now, is something that is truly unbelievable. You know what I'm saying? And you wouldn't even understand that all you, or for the people out there that have been targeted, has been trying to do is just be a better them. You know what I'm saying? But a lot of what people don't know is that when you are born and you have a certain set of skills, you're automatically recruited to some part of the government, which means they're using your energy to fund something. And as long as you don't know who you are, you know what I'm saying, you'll never know the real. You know what I'm saying? So it keeps profiting off of these $1 million businesses, you know what I'm saying, to keep other people satisfied instead of the people that, you know what I'm saying, be struggling the most. It's crazy, but it's such a real thing. And it's almost as if there are certain people that have been cloaked by certain energy to believe that they're meant to be on the streets. They're supposed to be broke. They're supposed to be drug addicted. They're supposed to be in jail. You know what I'm saying? They tend to think that that's their life. But what if it's not? What if you're actually supposed to be not struggling, successful, doing well, not having to worry about anything? But again, there were certain people sent to you on purpose to cloak your energy, to fund other people's pockets, to make it to where you're stressed out and hungry and broke and don't got nowhere to go. You know what I'm saying? It's so much bigger, and everybody probably don't even realize that one of you guys works for one of these systems. You know what I'm saying? And the people closest to you that operate for these systems as well are sent to make sure that you never discover who you are. Because if you do, you start to open a different set of energy that was not okay to access on this planet at this time. You know what I'm saying? Because then once exposed, a lot of these $1 billion industries will make these people who are spoon-fed. Let me help y'all understand. Spoon-fed, meaning they were born into money. You know what I'm saying? They never knew what it was like to struggle. You know what I'm saying? Or be broke, or having to know what it's like to build your life up to a certain point to where you're grateful because they never struggled. So imagine if you've always had money and you're doing everything you can to make sure you never go broke. You know what I'm saying? So whatever it is, death threats, altering documents, making fake documents, you feel me? Doing fake things. You feel me? Going against the law, don't matter what you got to do. All we know is that you make sure that these people who are going to wake up in a certain amount of time, make sure that they don't. You know what I'm saying? Throw every trick possible that you can. But again, like I said, when you're protected by the Most High, oftentimes the tricks that they've been studying and know to target you with to get you in a certain state of mind, you know what I'm saying, are actually the things that empower you. You know what I'm saying? To make you stronger. And so what happens is once that starts to happen, it throws their whole system out of whack. They don't even know what to do. You know what I'm saying? And they're trying to figure out how to counteract it. But it's almost as if you throw a dog the same tricks, he's going to know how to respond to it. You know what I'm saying? Listen, I'm telling you, it's something that's so much bigger than what anybody can understand. And once you start to take a real deep, dark look at your life, and see how it operates, the truth will be revealed to you. But the only way that you can get that exposed to you is you have to be willing to separate yourself from people that work for these people. You know what I'm saying? That seen the light in you way before you even seen it in yourself. And they targeted you to make sure you never woke up to who you were, because their whole survival system would be threatened. You know what I'm saying? It's all a plotted system and attack. And a lot of people work with certain people energetically, you know what I'm saying, to accumulate certain things. It's almost as if certain people that work for the dark side automatically, energetically targeted out these people. Because if you get them to lay down, if you get them to feel the worst way in who they are, you'll get paid. That's why you got to realize how detrimental it is right now. It's turning over, but it's a process. You know what I'm saying? Because again, you got to think about it. This energy was not allowed to be on this planet for a very long amount of time, and they knew exactly what to do to keep certain people that had the ability to shift the energy in a different direction quiet. You know what I'm saying? But again, you got to think about it. Once they threw out their biggest weapon and that situation or person was able to disclose who they really are, and that person realized who they really are in the midst of the moment, they were able to wake up to who they really were. But again, like I said, they were targeted even more at the slightest, you know what I'm saying, understanding of who they were and the things that they could be able to do energetically. Targeted everything left and right to make sure that this person never grew into who they were. And listen, it worked on some people. So you got to think about how in the world now there are some people that have the ability to speak the truth without fear versus the ones that, you know what I'm saying, knew the truth but weren't able to speak it due to them working for certain people, certain restrictions put on them, and they were just too afraid. You know what I'm saying? Listen, I'm telling you, cloaking the enlightened one's energy was something that was a direct order for a lot of people. You know what I'm saying? And they basically sniffed out your energy from a mile away. They never cared. They never respected. They never loved you. They never was there for you. They played like they were. And when you weren't looking, they did everything they could to stomp on who you were, discredit who you were, everything you were talking about, everything you were doing, so that you wouldn't have the ability to realize who you were. And listen, understand that even if they don't do it in your face, but they do it energetically, whether your name is spoken, whether it's referred to other people, whether it's mentioned, all that is energy. You know what I'm saying? And oftentimes you'll find yourself feeling in a state of distress solely because there are people that you can't see having discussions about you. You know what I'm saying? So you have to be aware and realizing who you are to fight the invisible war that you don't even know you're fighting. Because once you realize that the invisible war you don't even know you're fighting is to enhance not only a better life for yourself, but your young life, so that they don't have to live in a world where they're in fear or they're controlled or they're dictated. You know what I'm saying? No one wants to feel as if they can't be themselves, but understand how that's hard to understand in a world where nobody was ever themselves. Everybody was being controlled by someone that was making money off their mental state. You know what I'm saying? It's not just one of us. It's not just 5 of us. It's all of us. You know what I'm saying? But there are the certain ones that have a very strong ability to be able to withstand the attacks, to be able to help other people realize who they are as well. You know what I'm saying? And I'm telling you, they've been tracking you your whole life. They know exactly who you are. They know exactly what makes you tick. They know exactly what you love. They know exactly what you be doing, who you're associated, connected to, everything. And all the tricks usually are been working on everybody who's been connected to you. I'm telling you, listen, it's been set up and directed on purpose to go a certain way so that your life flows in a certain way. But again, like I said, when the higher power has a certain select set of people that are just stronger. Everybody's selected. Everybody's a child of God. But there are some people that will take and finish out the assignment of not knowing who they are, and they become dark. And then there are some ones that are strong enough to understand the assignment he has for their life, and they cherish it, and they move in a way where, you know what I'm saying, they operate by his rules, you know what I'm saying, instead of the game. You get me? So again, you got to know and realize there are people right now congregating behind the scenes that are doing everything they can to scramble and attack and research and figure out where it is and what is going on. Listen, there are people who intentionally don't contact you and act as if they can't reach you when other people ask, simply because they're on a contract to make sure they don't release that certain information to keep that person trapped. So if they feel singled out or feel as if no one cares or love them, they will sink into a deep depression, and everybody that the mission, you feel me, has flipped on will return. You know what I'm saying? And listen, but once you start to get to a space where you love yourself enough and you pull your power back and you realize that everything you've been doing has been fueled to operate other people instead of you, once you do that, that table automatically flips automatically. It's going to take time. It's not going to happen overnight. You know what I'm saying? But in due time, the more you work on waking up and harnessing your power, the more everything they had to target and go against you flips. You know what I'm saying? And in due time, you will be able to experience the real reason why you have been targeted. It will be revealed to you in due time. You know what I'm saying? Some of us don't even realize how there are certain things that have been able to keep people to be able to track us. You know what I'm saying? Listen, there are certain things that they use to keep track of certain people. There are certain, you know what I'm saying, media websites, social. Listen, I do not have TikTok and I don't have Facebook. You know what I'm saying? Strictly because of those certain reasons. And so I've only got 2 platforms, which is YouTube and Instagram. You know what I'm saying? Because again, you got to realize the more they can track you, the more they'll use certain things to try to target you. You know what I'm saying? On purpose. But again, you'll have a mission with these people and you'll have a mission with the universe. You got to decide which choice you want to make to, you feel me, acquire a different version of who you are. And that means you got to start by loving yourself. A lot of these people who are targeted, you know what I'm saying, will never understood how powerful they were ever in their life. So they don't tend to love themselves because they've been so hurt, not realizing they're actually the antidote to a better life. You know what I'm saying? But again, the more we have conversations behind your back, you know what I'm saying, you'll never know, the less you'll be informed about what's really going on. Because you're too busy listening to the people around you, which is what we set up on purpose to target you. Not even realizing like you're so much of a bigger addition to what's truly going on than you actually realize. But again, that power is for you to believe in yourself. You're not going to get it from no one else because you got to realize how much of an asset you are to certain systems. So if you know who you are, you crumble everything they got. You feel me? The mission is for you to stay in a low vibration, for you not to have nothing, for you to be, you feel me, drug addicted on the streets. Because again, we've used certain energy to cloak yours so you never realize who you were. But once you wake up and you shift that power, imagine how much greater your life gonna get. But again, it's a process. So you're gonna have to stick with it. And then the people that are watching you are slowly monitoring your progress. But as they're going through it, they're trying everything they can to hide their hand. And you know what I'm saying, remove certain things that they did to keep you trapped because they realize what they're doing is not working. But at some point, it'll get to a point where it'll no longer be believable to the people that have woken up. And those people will oftentimes be held accountable at some point. So listen, be wise and aware and take your time in understanding who you are. It may look like a big strain. It may seem very difficult. It may seem as if you're really stagnant. I'm a person, I like to be on the go. I like to stay moving. But being still is actually what you need to be able to have access to certain information that other people wouldn't. You know what I'm saying? Because there are a lot of people that don't have access to certain things that will bring light to the suffering in this world. You know what I'm saying? So listen, baby, if you don't know what it is, I just told you. Please make sure you like, comment, share, and subscribe.